everybody, it's Sierra, the Artsy Badger, and today we're doing another Pinterest Picks What I Draw challenge. This one I'm doing a little bit differently than the past few ones I've done. I believe that in the past I have picked each step as I went through it, so I constantly had my iPad out, but this time not only am I using a bigger die, but I am gathering all of my source images in the beginning. In this first one, for the pose, I decided to skip all of the ones with multi-poses. That's also something I didn't do last time, but I just wanted to simplify things a little bit for myself and not have to do too much randomization. And I also didn't really want sketches for this one. I wanted all photo references. I'm kind of glazing over the process here, not showing you every roll and every tap of the screen, but I am showing you every image that I arrived to. And once I had my general set of images selected, I got to sketching. I have to say, there were many times during this video that I questioned whether or not I should continue. At first I was gonna roll the dice and then just use whatever was on my sort of recommended for you page as inspiration. But after I rolled for that, I just got these like two tigers and it wasn't that inspiring for me. And I didn't want to just do a drawing of copying something from photo reference. I wanted to make something that was inspired and interesting. As you can see, during this drawing process, I became more inspired and decided I wanted even more details in this image. So I did roll for each of those details. But as I was kind of saying before, my first idea for this time around didn't really work out, didn't send me any amounts of inspiration. And then even as I was picking the first few images, I was very worried and not feeling very inspired by them. The window pose was extremely intimidating to me for some reason. I think it's because a majority of the character is covered, and so I didn't know how to make it interesting. Even by changing the hair and the outfit, I didn't know if it would feel like something somewhat original that I created. And I was really worried that the outfit wouldn't translate because so much of it is covered up by the window. But I think it worked out pretty well. You can definitely see that I changed the outfit. It is very similar to the original outfit, but definitely changed a little. I also broadened the perspective of the window so that I could include a little companion with her. I was hoping I would get a pet that was more interesting than a golden retriever puppy. That seems so generic to me, but he turned out really cute and pretty derpy looking, so I'm not too upset about it. And then I really wanted to create some more interest in the composition of the piece. I didn't want just two people standing in a window. So I decided to give the window a little ledge and a planter's box, and I rolled for what would be in the planter, and I got these little flowers. At first, I was extremely disappointed with the plainness of the flowers, but luckily, even the reference image, the flowers are kind of asymmetrical in their planter's box, and I think that worked out perfectly to kind of give weight to one side of the image. It helps any drawing look more interesting when it's somewhat asymmetrical, I think. Too balanced of a composition, although if perfectly symmetrical, it can be interesting in that way. If it's not the right amount of balance and unbalanced, it's not gonna be very interesting to look at. You want people's eyes to move across the page, and having some kind of direction or weight to an image helps do that. For once in the line working process, I actually left quite a bit up to my imagination until the line work. For example, I didn't really plan out the flowers or the wrinkles or anything like that. It was pretty freeform, which was different for me. I usually feel pretty uncomfortable going straight into ink without a very distinct reference underneath. but I think because I have been drawing so much, I'm just gaining a little bit of confidence in certain things. And the flowers are super duper simple, so I didn't feel that they needed much prep work. But it's just kind of interesting to notice certain areas in my art that I'm growing. I think this sketchbook is really helping me get back into the groove of drawing regularly, and I'm always excited to make more art in my sketchbook. I'm also really excited to buy more art supplies, mostly sketchbooks, because although you might be surprised, I'm actually over halfway through this one, and I'm just itching to get a new one. But I'm struggling to find a balance of keeping the excitement and waiting to get a sketchbook, because if I get one too soon, I'm worried that that excitement will kind of dwindle because I went and already got a sketchbook and then it's just gonna be sitting there. I don't know, maybe I'll still be really excited to use it, and maybe having it will make me more motivated to finish this one faster. But I'm nervous that if I get one, I'll just be like, well, that was done. And it's kind of fun to wait and hope for a new sketchbook. I also think I might try having multiple sketchbooks this time, having one that's more like this one with finished works, and then having another one for studies and things. Let me know what you guys do. Do you guys have multiple sketchbooks for different things? I have a bunch of unfinished sketchbooks, but I don't know if I've ever actually had more than one sketchbook going at a time. I often just end up giving up on one and thinking that getting a new one is going to inspire me to create more, and so I just don't finish it and start a new one. But I've never had more than one going at a time. And although I do have some studies in this sketchbook, for some reason I don't feel as inclined to do studies because it feels like a waste of the paper in here, because this paper is so nice for the markers, and there are so many pieces in here that I consider to be somewhat finished pieces, and so I don't want to ruin the flow of the sketchbook. I also can't decide if I want to purchase this same exact sketchbook again, or if I want to stick with the same brand but get a different size and shape. I've almost never been the type to buy the same type of sketchbook again. I've maybe done that once, so I might have like 2 of the same type of sketchbook, but I tend to always want to try something new and see if I can find something better than the last. But this one was so good that I feel like it's gonna be hard to beat. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? Should I get a completely new brand of sketchbook, or just a different shape of the same brand, or stick with the same exact sketchbook? Now that I've ranted on about sketchbooks for half the video, let me talk a little bit about the coloring, as we are deep into it now. One of the things I was really worried about with this piece was how many browns there were. The outfit is very brown and cream colored. The girl's skin tone is very brown. The window is brown. Her hair is brown. And although the golden retriever is technically yellow, it's still kind of brown. So a big thing for me with this one was making sure that none of the pieces blended together. So I made sure to make the window frame a very red brown, which was how the reference image was anyway, so that worked out. And then I had her skin tone be a more dull brown. I feel like gray brown. I don't know. Yeah, gray brown sounds about right. I mean, it doesn't sound appealing, but that is kind of what I did. And then I made her jacket a very orangey brown and her hair is just a very dark, almost black brown. And then the creams, of course, are a little bit more on the yellow side. So every single color was still in the warm family, but a different hue. Maybe that's the right word. And I think I was actually pretty successful in keeping everything separated. So I'm definitely gonna pat myself on the back for that one. The more and more I look at this little golden retriever puppy, the more derpy he looks, but I kind of love it. Anyway, we're already at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Pinterest Picks What I Draw challenge. I know it was a little bit different than before, but I almost like this result more than any of the others. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.